Good morning, guys. Quick Bitcoin update. Well, just general market update. Since I think we're in an interesting spot. Sorry. Following up from yesterday's review, we were trading up here, right? We were long on some altcoins and short on Bitcoin as a hedge, right? So as you can see, things changed quite quickly overnight, and we're now trading lower already. And the sentiment has gone from ultra bullish at the local top to now everyone being neutral again or bearish. While on the chart, to be honest, nothing changed. I agree, some altcoins were looking bullish, but Bitcoin was at a key area where we could see some downside next, with the highs being swept and clean lows resting below. So for Bitcoin, for me, to be honest, nothing changed, although I think we see lower prices on Bitcoin rather sooner than later, okay? And that doesn't mean I'm ultra bearish here. I'm still targeting 32K. And I do think Bitcoin trading a little bit lower from here is actually a good thing, okay? I think if we trade lower now and take out this liquidity, that we should have enough fuel to get to 32K, and at that point maybe even get higher. While if we would leave all kind of lows unswept right now, the chances of us hitting higher liquidity and then just reversing towards those lows increase a lot, okay? So for Bitcoin, right, I'm still in this short, targeting these lows. I will take some off on these lows and then keep the rest for these lower down here, okay? Invalidation now, in my opinion, is pretty clean above this consolidation, so around my entry. Why? Because that was the sideways price action here. Sideways price action with some sweeps of highs, sweeps of lows, but then ultimately we broke down. The retest of that area now should hold as resistance and should get rejected. If you also take a look at, if you take it from the high to the low, range mean is resting there, and let's see OTE resting a little bit higher, but clean invalidation now should be above this area and above this key level right here, this range high level, okay? So as you heard yesterday, this was our range high level, this was our range low level. Why? This was the high after all of this upside, the first high where we saw decent retrace and where we started ranging. Then from this high, this is the key low, high swept, lows unswept. So that's what we're looking for next, okay? So this one went pretty well. Which one didn't go as planned? The Sol trade. I don't know if I still have it. No. Anyways, we longed. Where was it? Somewhere up here, right? We longed there. Invalidation was below this gray box, and the target was all the way up here. Well, first this range high and then all the way up there. Chart looked good, the plan was clear, invalidation was clear, so I had to take the trade. Unfortunately, as you can see, we swept some highs exactly into that range mean and got rejected pretty heavily, okay? So I closed it, not for a full stop out, but I think the probability of us still doing this from here and not first taking lower liquidity, yeah, probability wise, it's not a good trade anymore for me. So I think this sees a flush into some lower levels, just as Bitcoin. So I decided to close this in a loss, okay? Currently, I'm in a net loss, even with the Bitcoin trade being in a profit, right? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I risked more on this Sol trade than I risked on the Bitcoin short, but that's fine. I've still got the Pepe long running as well, which I'll show you right now. Okay, boom, there it is. So still in profit on this one, and I'm looking to add. Okay, I still think if you just take a look at the clean daily chart, right, after the weekly close, and the look of the daily, this just looks like this wants to sweep some lows and then rip back up. So I'm gonna add to this position on the sweep of some lows, and ideally time it together with Bitcoin. So I'd like to see Bitcoin sweep those lows. I'll close out my Bitcoin shorts and add to my Pepe longs. Okay, hopefully that's what happens. If that happens, I'll be in net profit. As I said, I risked more on Sol than I did on the Bitcoin short. But if Bitcoin does nuke from here, since I closed Sol at minus 0.5 R, if Bitcoin ends up nuking at least towards this low, I'll be in profit again, so then everything's fine. Okay, so now it should also make more sense why I short hedged Bitcoin, right? That's the way, you know, if you're overexposed to long exposure, right? I mean, in extremely bullish times, that's the way. But I thought we were at a key area where we could see Bitcoin pull back with all of these lows here and everyone being extremely bullish. So that was the perfect time for a short hedge. All right, so that's my thoughts right here. Looking for Bitcoin to trade a little lower. I do think dips are for buying. Okay, I'm not bearish. I'm still targeting up here, but I think we could retrace first. So I do think these, if we get a flush on Bitcoin, that both Bitcoin and alt dips will be dips to buy. Okay, so that's why I explained I will be adding to Pepe longs if we get that flush, ideally below these lows here, something like this, boom, and then reclaim, and then it will probably take some time until we get back above here and trade higher. But I think with invalidation all the way below this, that's just a low R but safe, a very high probability trade. All right, hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.